Hey guys, how's it going? I'm in my Eagle Fang karate shirt. It's kind of daring to wear red because it makes my face look red. So, and I don't wear makeup, so I look a little washed out. I didn't brush my hair today. It's been a day. So, hello everybody. Yes, I'm smoking a cigarette. I know it's a gross habit, but I'm here by myself. So, it is what it is. But yes, I in the chat I told y'all that I took a few hits of my Mike Tyson vape before we started, so I am chilling. Life is good. Hope life is good for you too. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. If you're a Catholic or Irish Catholic or even not, it doesn't matter. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm not a drinker, so I will smoke my green Mike Tyson vape. So let's see who's here before we start. Let's see. Ben, it looks like Ben's going to be gone. He has a St. Patrick's Day dinner. So Ben's gone. But hi, Ben. I'm going to say hi to you anyways. Let's see. Brandon, hello. Gemini Gypsy, hello. Brian. No, it's not code at all. It's literally like just the truth. Is he? I don't know if you guys can see him. He has his own brand of marijuana vapes. So this is yuzu lemonade, and it's a indica. And then I've got sour lemonade, which is also an indica. I usually go indica. Sometimes I'll go sativa, like if I need to get through my day. But yeah, I got indica tonight, so woo. Let's see. Hello, it's all a simulation, man. That's interesting that you have that interesting name because of a video we're gonna watch tonight. And yes, you got here at the beginning. Gobbledygook is back. What up? How's it going? Let's see. Star Rose. Hi. Hi. Robert Rodriguez. Hello. Derek Dulce. Hello. Alrighty. Cool. Oh, Brian. I'm gonna go ahead and read. Brian is one of my OG subscribers and members, and he's been so great. He even helped me out with a couple of videos. I'm gonna go ahead and put that up here because I want to just say, my condolences. I can't even imagine. This is a time in our life with Gen X where we're losing our parents, and so I'm so sad that I'm so sorry that your mom passed away, and man. Enjoying it with St. Patrick himself. So I'm gonna get off this comment before I cry, but I just want to know, Brian, we're thinking about you, and I hope you're doing okay, and I'm so glad you're here to hang out with us tonight. All right. Higgy, how's it going? Bad Fish 419. Hello. Smoking some green still counts. Yes, it does. I completely agree. I don't know if I don't think is there Mike Tyson flour? It possibly is, but this is just his branding. He has a whole line of them, so I don't know if I honestly don't know. That's a good question. Let's see. Got New York in the house. That's Derek. Elkston, hello. Owen. From the home of Dawson's Creek. You mean Wilmington? Because that's pretty super cool. Wilmington, North Carolina, where they filmed it. That's amazing. Let's see. Starlex Zennial video or Zennial. I'm gonna get it right because everybody's mad at me. Zennial. You like my Zennial video? That's awesome. Thank you. Yep, just chilling like a villain. Let's see here. Thank you so much, Gemini Gypsy. I super appreciate that. Happy St. Patty's Day to all. Loved everyone here. Yes, thank you guys so much for showing up, letting us know where you're at in the chat. I love seeing the birth years to see what kind of Gen Xer you are, even if you're not a Gen Xer, that's okay. Hello from Vancouver, BC, Alex Zoot. And Rob is representing from Jersey. Fantastic. Awesome. So, hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday. Hope things are going well for you. I I know this is kind of crazy. I did a live stream last night, and we're doing another one here tonight. And it's just because I had a good time last night, and I had so many things that I wanted to play for you. And after a couple hours, I just thought, well, let's just stop and we'll just pick it up here tomorrow night. And now it's tomorrow night. So, yay. Okay. So we did have a couple of questions at the beginning of the chat. Have you ever thought about a tribute to John Hughes? I have. There's some that are already on YouTube, but obviously, just because it's been done doesn't mean I can't do it. But yeah, I definitely have thought about that. It's on the idea board, and it might come at some point this year. It's interesting. John Hughes has like all of the Gen X movies from the early 80s, but he also has millennial movies from the early 90s as well. It's even though he's considered the Gen X, movie master, he's got a lot of different stuff to look at. Kind of, like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. She's having a baby. Even Home Alone was for kids. It wasn't a teen movie or whatever. So, anyways, John Hughes, that's a good idea. I might have to do that here soon. Let's see. Oh, Star thinks I'm a fun person. I think that's what you're talking about. Are you talking about me or somebody else in the chat? If you're talking about me, thank you. Oh, man. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Don't know if I mentioned this in my videos, but your thoughts on the OG Blues Brothers movie. Well, obviously it's iconic. I love it. I didn't see it until, because it came out when I was 2 or 3 years old, 1980. So, I was born in November of 77. So I didn't see it until the 90s, when I was in high school, in college. But still, we all had the John Belushi poster on our wall from Animal House, the college, when he's wearing the college on his shirt. But I mean, it's Belushi and Aykroyd. So the music, everything about it, it's great. I mean, there's nothing bad nothing bad can be said about it. But I don't know, like, it's funny because it's such a product of its time, and I love it so much. But I've seen a couple of younger people react to it, and it's like they don't quite get it. But I think maybe because when you don't live in that time period, or when you're not familiar with how the world was at that time, or the comedy of the time, I'm not saying it doesn't hold up, but I don't know how well it communicates with younger people that weren't around at the time. But I mean, the music is great. The church scene with James Brown is awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's so great. It's a great movie. So yeah, love it. I mean, how could I not? It's the Blues Brothers. Yes, perfect. You didn't get all the jokes in time, but love the music when you were little. Absolutely. It's funny because a lot of the stuff from the 80s that that you watched as a kid that you didn't quite get and then you watch it later on as an adult, and it's like, oh wait, what? It's like that was totally lost to me. One of the biggest things, one of my best examples of that is Karate Kid, because I watched it on a loop when I was a kid in the 80s, but I never realized that Johnny Lawrence was rolling a joint in the bathroom until, like, I don't know, like 1998. So I was like, oh my God, that was happening. Yes, Airplane's another great one. Yeah, you gotta, and that's another one that when kids watch it today, or when younger people watch it today and in reactions, they don't get like 80% of the jokes, because they're such a product of the pop culture of the time. So that's really, I think, very interesting when I watch younger people react to movies that we were so yeah, there was. But when we watch younger people react to stuff from our childhood, it's kind of interesting because a lot of times it doesn't connect. I have other examples of things that don't connect, like when they're watching Back to the Future and he says he wants a Pepsi free. Kids don't realize Pepsi free was a caffeine free Pepsi, right? And it was around in the 80s. They don't know what that is. There's some in Clueless too that they don't get. and I can't remember what they are on top of my head. I smoked too much pot. So, anyways, let's see. Do I remember the Mickey Mouse Club spin-off group, The Party? I don't. Obviously, I remember Mickey Mouse Club. You know, in the early 90s when it had Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and Carrie Russell and JC Chazé and all them, Ryan Gosling. But I don't remember The Party. I'm going to have to look into that, see what that is. Somebody suggested earlier in one of the comments in my post or a video, they were talking about how I should do something on cable shows from the 80s and 90s, because a lot of people didn't have cable back then, and so a lot of people weren't exposed to the Nickelodeon and Disney Channel stuff like those of us that did have cable. So that might be a good idea to do something like that. Ooh, the 1970s Mickey Mouse Club. Nice. I mean, I knew that, you know, I'm aware that Mickey Mouse Club has been going on since the 50s with Annette and Frankie and Annette? But no, it was just Annette, right? Gosh, I smoked a lot of pot. But I don't remember, like, and I've seen clips of the older ones, but I don't remember it until the 90s. That's just me. Oh, all right. So, guys, so last night I am watching YouTube, like as I always do. It's like midnight, and I get this video pop up on my feed from Jamie Kennedy. You guys remember Jamie? Is it Jamie? That doesn't sound right. Oh my god, I gotta stop smoking so much pot. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Give me like 2 seconds and I swear I'm going to find it. I gotta switch to my personal account and go into my video history. All right. Did you hate this when you can't find what you're... And I thought I had everything up and ready to go, and I watched this for like 20 minutes. Oh, this is going to drive me nuts. Oh, here we go. Jamie Kennedy, I was right. Okay. So, Jamie Kennedy, who was on, he was in those Scream movies. He was the guy that told the rules of the horror films. And then he had a TV show in the early 2000s called The Jamie Kennedy Experiment. Anyway, so he has a podcast now, right? Random, I know. And a video from his podcast popped up, and he's talking to Kato Kaelin. Now, if you all remember the 90s, we all remember Kato Kaelin was the guy who lived in O.J. Simpson's guest house, and he was part of the O.J. trial, right? So, I want to play this for you. I got to bring this up. Because I was like, I've got to share this. This is nuts. So, let me bring it up. Okay. Here we go. Let me make sure y'all can see it. All right, good deal. Now we're going to play it.
Ask you some OJ stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all done now. You said there's so much stuff that didn't come out. I mean, you probably talked about it 1 billion times.
Well, so much stuff that I saw in the documentary, because don't forget, I was sequestered. I wasn't watching the trial.
So wait, do you remember what was the name of that restaurant? That was
Mezzaluna.
It was Mezzaluna. Now, I know you're a clean guy. You've never been a guy that did, but it was a drug haven.
Yeah. See, I didn't know that I was.
You know how I know that? Because as a young actor, that was like, there was a kid in my class and he's like, that's the place, the wait tables. He waited there and it was like killer money. And then like 92.
Oh yeah, it was the place to be. You have to be.
And OJ would go and what's that chick? You know her name?
The actress that.
Well, it was Kris
Jenner.
It was Nicole.
Yeah.
And it was the other girl who's
Faye.
Yeah. They were always there. I mean, that's what I saw from the documentary or footage, but I know that my buddy would come to our acting class and say this.
I think.
All right. So he's talking about Mezzaluna restaurant, where that's where Nicole was the night that she was murdered, and Ron Goldman worked there, right? And so he's talking about how that was the place for all of the actors, struggling actors to get jobs because that's where all the drugs were. And he said that Nicole, Kris Jenner, and Faye Resnick were always there. It was like their hangout. So that's what he's talking about, Metzalina Restaurant. Okay. Now he's going to talk about how why he was even at OJ's in the first place. He met OJ through Nicole, and he originally lived in Nicole's guest house. So here we go.
I think I was there. I lived out there. I think I might have been there only once because it wasn't.
But was it a drug den, in your opinion?
See, I wasn't. So I proclaim this. I've never done drug in my life.
I believe that. Oh, I know that.
I just haven't. And so
you're a Midwest farm boy.
Yeah. And so I had my own set friend. I didn't hang out with those people. I had a guest house, but I still had my separate life. I did not hang out. Everything was based on who my friends were. And that was a older crowd. To me, that was an older crowd. So I didn't hang out with them. And OJ, was doing Notre Dame games, NBC, football, acting, doing his bit. So, I wasn't a guy to go, hey, can I hang out? It wasn't my style.
Mm-mm.
And that was it.
So what was some of the things that came out that would surprise us?
Well, if you watch the series, first of all, they found the night of the murders, the detectives came, so they found in the wash machine clothes that were in the wash that had blood on the wash machine and blood on the light switches, blood upstairs on socks.
What?
All of it was thrown, never used. They had a woman named Jill Shively who's on our show.
It was never used?
Never. They were thinking that they had so much evidence, maybe they don't have to use it. So they had, and the blood of the socks had all 3 DNA on it. So we find this out during the documentary. Then there was
OJ Ron.
Did you guys know this? Did you guys know that there were clothing and blood all over OJ's house, and it was never introduced into evidence? Okay, but it gets even crazier. Listen.
On and
Nicole.
Okay.
And they had so much evidence in the Bronco that wasn't used. The blood in the Bronco. Then they had, so the reason being, then you watch the trial is because they said it was tainted, and Dennis Fung was the LA for the DNA expert, and Barry Scheck for the defense it did his line of questioning and just had him fumbling. So the jury, reasonable doubt, they show that. Jill Shively, I think one of the most important people in this, was a woman driving her car that night. Exact same timeline, matched the timeline for myself, everything. She was driving on San Vicente, and a Bronco comes with no lights on, through a red light, almost hits her, and the car goes on a medium. And she sees it, and she memorizes the license plate, and she hears the guy say, "Hey, get out of the way!" And she said that night she watched Naked Gun. She knew that voice was O.J. Simpson, so she called. She thought it was a drunk driver.
What?
So it's all on police record that she said exactly at that time it was him driving the car, probably back from Bundy. It's
meaning after the crime.
Bundy, right? Probably right after. And then the OJ gets there, and so she calls it in as a drunk driver, all on record. Skip Junis, this is great stuff. Skip Junis is at the airport and is picking up his wife to work for American Airlines. He's there all the time. It was Sunday, no crowd. He's in his car behind the limo, and he recognizes, it's O.J. Simpson. By the way, these people are very credible witnesses, and the detectives approved it.
How do they know it's OJ in a limo?
He came out of the limo. He's right behind. He goes, "Oh, it's OJ," and he sees him. Now, no one knows there's a crime committed, but he sees him with this duffel bag that I testified to. I said, I never saw that bag. No one ever found the bag, but he sees him go into this bag, his arm all the way down, and he pulls out this object and he puts it in the garbage can with his arm all. Who throws out something down here in the garbage can? Never used as witness. This guy was so credible.
What was it the knife?
Well, no one.
Did they ever find the? Did they
never found it?
They never found the knife.
Well, no, because
what?
Garbage is picked up probably that morning. No one knows anything yet.
And there's cameras at LAX.
No, that 94. No,
not 94.
95.
So
I'm sorry, but this just blew my mind. There was like, and I watched the OJ trial, but granted, it was happening my freshman year of college, so I was very busy. But we still watched it. I remember watching the verdict. But I don't know. It was just so random that this thing came up on my feed. If you want to watch this whole interview, just go to Jamie Kennedy's podcast on YouTube. It's called I Hate to Break It to You, and the whole episode is there. But I just found this crazy. I just thought it was very interesting and just so random that it popped up on my feed. Let's see what you guys were saying about it. Let's see. Oh, we're talking a lot about it. You guys remember hearing about the bloody socks? Okay. Gemini hasn't heard this before. Yeah. Blood in the house. Let's see. I went to an expensive private high school during which the O.J. Simpson case was released during school hours to create division between races and sexes. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, it was a very divisive case, you know, and it was just a really weird time. And it's kind of like, you know, the Rodney King case and the LA riot, and then this just kind of really sparked a lot of racial stuff. And I don't really want to get into all that, but yeah, like this was just, I don't know. I thought this was very, very interesting and stuff that I hadn't heard before. Okay, I need to watch this, The People versus O.J. Simpson. That was the series. I've seen the ESPN documentary about OJ, which and the whole case, which was very, very good. But I haven't seen the show, so I'm gonna have to check that out. But yeah, it was just so crazy. 100% chance none of this is true. I mean, maybe not. I just thought it was very interesting. I remember the car chase too. It was June, I think 16th, 1994. I remember because I was working at Steak and Shake as a waitress. And I only worked like a 5 to 8 shift. And right when I got home, he was on the highway, and they were following him and everything. I had to get caught up on what was going on. But yeah, I mean, just a big thing in the 90s. And the car chase was also that year was the number one night in pizza sales for 1994. Because everybody just like ordered pizza and sat and watched. And I don't think we really like, you know, OJ was a big star. Not only was he one of the biggest NFL stars ever, he was on NBC every week, you know, calling games. He was on, you know, in Naked Gun and all that. So, you know, it was a big deal. You know, it'd be like, well, it's not close to Tom Brady, but pretty close, you know, to someone of that caliber who is now calling games. You know, getting caught up in a case like this. So, anyways, we'll start there. But I just thought that was funny. Or not funny, but just interesting. I hadn't seen Kato Kaelin in 30 years, so for him to just pop up. I thought that was pretty nuts. Okay, before we get to the funny stuff, because I love to watch the funny videos and things. There was one other video that I wanted to bring your guys' attention to. And it's called "Did the World End in 1999?" Let me bring that up. We'll watch the beginning of it. I don't want to like poach other people's content, but I want to bring up this video because I want you guys to. I thought it was very interesting, and I think this is a really interesting discussion. So this is from the channel Metaphysical. It posted it a few days ago, and yeah. So did the world end in 1999? We'll watch the very first minute or two so you can kind of see the point of the video, and then we can talk about it a little bit. So here we go.
When you think of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, what images do you think of? Each had a very distinct style of what the culture was like, with very specific fashion, TV shows, music, design, and everything else. But after 1999, that all stopped. You could look at a TV show from 2005 or 2025, and how the people act and dress and design their spaces pretty much stayed the same. At least, that's the strange, thought-provoking theory people are starting to talk about. And I can tell you, I was there. The The 80s and the 90s were so distinctly different from each other, and we could see looking back at how different each decade was from the 50s through to the 90s. We were fully aware. That's why Back to the Future was such a fantastic movie. The nostalgia from the 50s was palpable. But the questions I keep coming back to are, why have the decades since 2000 seemed relatively the same? Are we stuck in a time warp? Has culture ground to a halt on purpose? I decided to collect all the evidence I could find of this bizarre Matrix-style time freeze and see if we can figure out what's actually going on. Is it just a pile of technological and social issues creating this, or is there evidence of other theories? Let's go through all of them. Join me, investigative researcher Rob Counts, for a metaphysical show that's out of this world.
Isn't that crazy? I know we've all thought this. Like, something crazy happened in 1999, 2000, and I obviously, we can go to September 11th, which is kind of the day that everything, the world really changed. But yeah, like, each decade from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s all have very distinct characteristics, I guess, very distinct styles, very distinct pop culture. And then it just stops in 2001. And 9/11 is part of it. And also, I think the internet is part of it. And it's, why has this happened? Why has the culture stopped? Why has things, but I think he's going to go, I haven't watched this video yet, the whole thing. I stopped it because I wanted to kind of share it with y'all. Let's watch another minute or two and see what he goes into. But I think I've seen people make the comment that we've done all this advancement in technology and inside of the internet and the metaverse and all of these things, but there's been nothing out in the physical world. And that's really weird. So let's watch another minute or two of this. Like I said, I don't want to be one that just plays other people's content, but I wanted to show you guys this.
You believe it's the year 1999, when in fact it's closer to 2199. I can't tell you exactly what year it is, because we honestly don't know.
I can't tell you what year it is either. And if you think about it, we're sort of existing in the Matrix time warp concept now. And it gets even weirder if you start looking at people's appearances. Now, I know what you're going to say. How could things be the same in all the years since 2000?
Brian.
Look at all the massive advancements in computers and technology. Sure, I get it. It's not that nothing has changed. We're talking about cultural distinctions between our decades. But the craziest of all for me of this Matrix time warp was one example I saw on social media. If you watch The Office, which I do, and it's consistently ranked as one of the most popular shows of all time, all of what they're wearing and how their hair is styled and everything looks just like today. You could not guess the year any episode was filmed if you didn't already know, because it literally could be any year beginning with a 2.
They're the same picture.
The Office actually ran from 2005 to 2013, so it should be decades out of date. But teenagers today have a more extreme version of Jim's hair in season 1. They have a fluffy mop or semi-perm of broccoli hair now, or some in Gen Z have a partial comeback of 90s hair. Where did the distinct decade styles go?
This is crazy. I need to make a video about this. That's good stuff. And it drives me crazy. And I don't know. I think a lot of it, well, I know the corporate takeover of everything. And so all of the small things, organic things that happen stylistically or culturally don't really happen anymore, if that makes any sense. I don't know, but it's just weird that it seems that culture just stopped 25 years ago-ish. And everything looks the same. And I wonder if that'll change. I say all the time, I wish that, companies outside of, those in Hollywood would bring back stuff from the 80s and 90s. Like, what if Ford or Chevy, made one of their classic boxy Ford F-150 trucks or their old Chevy trucks and, sold them for cheap, just basic stuff with no computers. Like, bring back that 80s, 90s aesthetic and products and things. And I think it'd probably sell like crazy. Bring back the old Pizza Huts, you know, make McDonald's get rid of their prison boxes and go back to the you know, the playlands and the color and all that stuff. But just bring back some of that culture, that style, that aesthetic, because everything just looks so minimalist, or I don't know, gray, brutalist. So, anyways, so go check out that channel and the video Did the World in 1999. Give him a view and a subscribe, and yeah, very interesting video. I don't know if it's like I don't know, ethical to watch more than a minute or two of somebody's video without sending you to their channel. Oh my gosh. What? Jessica Lee, $20. Thank you so much. Gem just celebrated its 40th anniversary. I remember sitting on the living room floor with a bowl of cereal watching Gem. A company released a new Gem doll. Better believe I bought 2 of them. That's so great. Are they truly outrageous? Oh my God. 40th anniversary. Isn't that nuts? It doesn't seem possible that the 80s was 40 years ago. The 90s was 30 years ago. My 30th high school reunion, class reunion, is this summer. I graduated in 1995. Thank you so much, Jessica, for the $20. I super appreciate it. Your support means everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, man. Your local McDonald's still has a play place? You are lucky. You're one of the few. One of the chosen few. All right, let's watch some funny stuff. What do you say? Let's stop being so serious. I'm kind of losing my buzz. All right, let's go back. Oh, last night I showed you this one girl that is a Gen X, I guess you would call her an influencer, social media personality. And her name, I didn't know her name, but I wanted to tell you guys, her name is Kelly Mano. And she's kind of like a Gen X comedian, makes Gen X content. And she actually is from St. Louis, which, if y'all don't know, is like an hour from where I live. I'm from Southeast Missouri. Anyways, so she went from a radio intern to a Gen X TikTok sensation. So this is Kelly Mano, so you can see who she is. And definitely check her out. She's on TikTok. I don't do TikTok, but she does do Facebook. So definitely check her out on Facebook. Hold on.
To show you can bring this one thing I'm about to show you can bring you back instant PTSD. And no, I'm not going to give you any trigger warnings where Generation X fucking figured out. This is the one thing I've gotten so many comments about that I've had to make a separate folder on my phone for them. I present to you the mascot of Generation X. The jart gets its name because it's a cross between a javelin and a dart. And all of the weight is in the front of it, which comes down to this sharp point. Your dad always had like a grinder in the garage that would sharpen these motherfuckers. And you throw it in the air. And those fins hit that downward air. It is like a missile. Place the 2 yellow circles on the ground 35 feet apart, stand behind the circle. And there's like a scoring pattern of how close you get to these yellow circles. Those are great instructions. That's not how we played with them. We used to all stand in a circle and throw them up in the air. Last one standing wins. We used to stand around at night and throw them straight up in the air. If you moved, you were chicken. We would throw them straight up in the air and then run. Most of us survived.
Yes.
I told my sister to stand in the yellow circle. If she could catch the jart, she could play with us.
When y'all are saying that y'all used to drink from the hose,
Yes.
were sinks not an option?
No.
For fuck's sake. Who's going to tell him? You want me to tell him? I'll tell him. We weren't allowed in the house. I don't know why that's so hard for people to understand. Our childhood was like one never-ending episode of that TV show Survivor, okay? We are indestructible. We've never sat in car seats. Nobody's ever given us swimming lessons. We've all been either shot with a BB gun or stabbed with a fucking jart. The television stations had to make a commercial reminding our parents that they had kids. I you not. Every night on the 10 p.m. news, a voice would come on and say, "It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?" To remind our parents that they had fucking kids. So no, sir, shirtless with the beanie. Sinks were not an option.
Oh my goodness. So that's Kelly Mano. So definitely check her out. She does some really, really great stuff. And she tours, she does stand-up and stuff with other Gen X influencers, and they're gonna be in St. Louis in a couple of months, I think. They have a whole tour schedule on their page, so go check them out. All right, let's watch some funny things that I have saved in my reel folder. Here we go. All right, that's not as fun with the wrong music. Boo, that one was bad. All right, let's see. What do we got here?
Number 1. What is your name, please?
My name is Alexandra Sheedy.
Number 2.
My name is Alexandra Sheedy.
Number 3.
My name is Alexandra Sheedy.
And your delightful assignment, panel, is to uncover the real Alexandra Sheedy, and here is her novel story. She says, I, Alexandra Sheedy, have just written my first novel. It's an historical tale based on the life of Queen Elizabeth I of England. The narrator was able to hear many conversations without ever being noticed. And why? Well, because the narrator was a mouse. My best friend, Jessica Ann Levy, drew the illustrations, and here are 2 of them. Here is Queen Elizabeth I in her early 40s in a ball gown. And here you see a gathering of nobility watching a play by William Shakespeare. My book is really for people of all ages. As a matter of fact, it's being published on the adult list, the first time the work of anyone as young as I am has been so honored. The title of my book is She Was Nice to Mice.
I had no idea that Ali Sheedy wrote a book when she was 12 years old. And then she shows up on To Tell the Truth. What?
The other side of Elizabeth I's character, never before revealed by previous historians. Signed, Alexandra Sheedy.
Well, we know which one she is. That is so crazy. All right, let's go here. Whoops. Remember when networks used to do this? They used to gather all the people that were on all their sitcoms and all their dramas. And they would have like these big commercials with them, or these big nights where they did a roll call. I mean, there's Weezy Jefferson. Oh, roll for good time. New Sweethead. Danny Adams. Well, I'm going to be on the road and have to call with epic contact. I'm going to call it more. On night. At night. Danny K. Valerie Harper. Wow. My God. Oh, Wonder Woman. Towards her. Angel Ball? Wow. That there's Betty White. Wow, that was wow. Wow. Let's see.
All I know is the meeting you worked on, I really got a lot out of it.
Oh, Lois, could you hold on a minute? I've got another call.
Oh, sure.
Hello?
Cheryl, I'm glad I caught you. We just finished up here, and I'm going to catch an earlier plane.
Great. What time shall I pick you up at the airport?
I'll be on United Flight 614 at 7:30.
6:14, 7:30. Got it.
Hey, listen, I got to run or I'll miss the plane. I'll see you tonight.
Okay, bye, hon. Lois, sorry about the interruption. Now, as I was saying, there really isn't that much to it.
Oh, sure. Cheryl, how did you do that?
Do what?
Answer another telephone call while you were talking to me. Do you have two phones or what?
No, we have call waiting on our telephone.
Call waiting?
It's an incredible service that's offered by the telephone company. What happened is, when I was talking to you, I heard a tone over my phone that told me someone else was trying to call me.
But I didn't hear anything.
Oh, well, you're not supposed to. Only the person being called can hear it. Anyway, all I did was push the button that goes down when you hang up the phone.
I didn't know this was around
That
the
put you
70s
on
either.
hold and let the other call come through.
Oh, I see.
Then when we were finished talking, I pushed it down again, and you and I were reconnected.
Really? What do you have? A special phone of some sort?
Nope. Call waiting works with any kind of telephone.
That's crazy. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. All right. Someone made a good point in our movies, and it goes for TV as well. We don't have stars anymore. We just have actors. Absolutely, yes. That is correct. Used to, we'd go to the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, or the Harrison Ford movie, or the Julia Roberts movie. But now, you go see the Captain America movie. And those actors, it's like everything's been turned into content. But I will say that I have noticed this, that like celebrities, stars are social media people for the kids. For like if you're under 35, I would say that there are plenty of like stars and celebrities, but they're all on social media. They're not out of Hollywood, which I find very interesting. So, I mean, he's about as big of a modern day star as you're going to get, but I guarantee you that like the only reason I know who he is because I try to keep up with pop culture a little bit. Like I make an effort to, but I don't think most people our age really know Timothée Chalamet. I mean, like to me, he looks like he's 12, and I don't consider him like a leading man, or like he looks to me like a child. And I'm not trying to be mean. Like I know he's done some great work, and I know he's done some, but I think he looks like he's 12. And how can you swoon over a leading man that looks like he's 12? I just don't get it. Same thing with the kid that played Spider-Man, Zendaya's boyfriend or husband or whatever. I can't even think of his name, but he looks like he's 12. So I don't know. What is that? Tom Holland. Like he looks like he's 12. And so it's really funny to like, but movies today are the worst, which is why I don't, which is why I made a channel about stuff from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, because all the stories are content. Like they don't even like have hardly directors anymore. They like cast, like over on Film Threat. Chris Gore always says they cast directors in the role of director. but it's not like a Scorsese movie anymore, or even, you get a Chris Nolan movie, but that's about it. But like, they like cast directors into these roles to be able to, stand on the set and yell cut, I guess, but they're not like, they're all done by the bureaucracy. It's all content. And we don't have film studios anymore that like artists that want to make good movies. Everything's owned by tech companies, Amazon, Apple, like they've all turned into these streaming service tech companies. Again, so everything's content, and it has nothing to do with art or the filmmaking process or the art of television. None of it anymore, and it's really sad. It's really, really sad. So anyways, there's my little rant on modern Hollywood. But I wish it would go back. But I think we've segmented our entertainment so much. I've been thinking a lot about making a video about the lack of cultural moments, like shared moments. It wasn't a great thing that we only had 3 or 4 channels growing up. And if you're lucky enough to have cable, you had a few more. But like, what that did do, having movies in the theater nationwide and having 3 or 4 channels to watch, it gave us common cultural moments where half the country or 2/3 of the country would watch something on television together or experience a news moment or a sporting event, and we would all talk about it the next day. But I don't think that there's going to be I don't think that can happen again. I don't think you're not going to have 100 million people watching the MASH finale and talking about it the next day, or the Friends finale, or the Seinfeld finale, or watching Felicity cut her hair. Like it's just, we used to have those what we call water cooler moments. But I don't think with entertainment being so segmented, the algorithms have like literally divided us up into individuals. Like, what I see on my phone is different from what you see on your phone, and your feeds are different from my feeds, and we have no commonalities in entertainment anymore, or news, or information. And it's just so weird. It's like it's taken us away from each other. Let's see. How are you? You're doing some good content. Well, thank you. I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there. I gotta be honest, like these last couple months with dealing with my teeth, I've been in a pretty bad depression. Like, it's been bad. I have days where I don't even get out of bed. And it's really, because of the teeth and the depression, it goes in cycles. But, I'm so glad I get to make videos and get on here and talk to y'all. It's helped. Because getting through that was really hard. Which is why I hadn't posted a lot of videos lately. I've just been down, taking care of my dad. He's been going through chemo, and that's been hard. And getting all my teeth ripped out of my face has been hard. So, yeah. But I'm doing better now. So thank you for the comment. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I tell you, the first quarter of YouTube, this is difficult. The views have gone down. The subscriber counts have really stabilized out. They're not going up really. And so the revenue goes down and all that stuff compared to fourth quarter, which was, really, really great. So first quarter has been really, really weird, but I'm hoping to get back into it and start making a lot more content. And I want to do, like I said last night, I've got to get out of this 1 hour long video list cycle, because it takes me 10 days to 2 weeks to make a video, and that's not cool. It means I'm only making 1 or 2 or 3 videos a month, and that's not going to work if I want to be a full-time YouTuber and make my living this way. So I need to come up with some different stuff and different ways of doing things where I can post 10-20 minute videos a little bit more often, and still do the big ones once or twice a month, but also have some other types of content and do more live streams and things like that. So there you have it, and there you are. Oh man, let's see here. Let's watch something funny. Ooh, first off, did you all have these trays when you were little? I had the strawberry shortcake one. and I had it for years. I just got rid of it. Not got rid of it, but lost it like maybe in the last 10 years. But I love these trays. So I saved that to share. Let's see what we got here. We already went through some of this yesterday. Here we go. Pepsi commercial from the 80s.
Hi, I just moved in next door, and I was wondering, could I borrow a Diet Pepsi?
Diet Pepsi? Sure. Come in. Don't move. Yes. How about something else?
No, that's okay. Listen, if you don't have a Diet Pepsi.
No, I got it.
I remember this.
Could I borrow a Diet Pepsi? Pepsi.
Chasing down a dream tonight. I'm on the edge.
You okay in there?
Here's your Diet Pepsi.
That must be my roommate, Danny.
Danny?
Hi, I'm Danielle. You got another Diet Pepsi?
Sure.
Diet Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
He was such a big star back then. Man, after Back to the Future came out, between that and Family Ties. Let's see. Here's a 1999 Gap commercial.
My love. All over.
Okay, this Gap, this whole Gap thing they did in the late 90s where they did like swing dancing in khakis and then all stood around and sang weird things like this. Gap, like what happened to them? They were such a big deal. Remember the Gap sketch on Saturday Night Live with David Spade and Adam Sandler? If I wouldn't get copyright strike on that, I would play some of those videos. Oh, here we go. Here's when chicken McNuggets were introduced.
They're here! Bobby, they're here! They're here? Yeah! Chicken McNuggets. Chicken McNuggets. Sweet and sour, honey,
And barbecue, hot mustard.
3 slices, 2, 6, 9 for 20. New chicken McNuggets.
A winner.
McDonald's and you. And they're here.
They're here.
I'm telling you, McDonald's has been all up Gen X's business ever since we were born. They have. From the playgrounds to the Happy Meals to the chicken nuggets. They have been all up in our business. Oh, that's a video waiting to happen. Ooh, I love this game. If we can get to it, here we go.
When you're into perfection, keep on your toes. You have to be quick, cause here's how it goes. Push the plunger down, set the timer. Fit the pieces in place. Don't be slow in perfection. You've gotta move on fast. Move on fast.
Yes, a birthday with chicken nuggets. Nice. Yeah, I love it.
Perfection, complete with playing box, mechanical timer,
Yep,
and
back with it
25
all
geometric
available.
shapes from Lakeside.
We are Gen X.
We are. That was quite a singer they had there at the end. Let's see here. I'm just going through reels. For those of you that weren't here with me last night, I've been saving these like Gen X related reels and book and X bookmarks for like the last year. And they weren't things I could like put in a video necessarily, but I wanted to just save them and share them with y'all so you could see them. And this kind of like works out well for a live stream. Up next.
I brought along my son Jonathan, who in the year 2001 will be the same age as I am now. Maybe he will be better adjusted to this kind of world that you're trying to portray.
The big difference when he grows up, in fact, if we wanted to wait for the year 2001, is that he will have in his own house, not a computer as big as this, but at least a console through which he can talk to his friendly local computer and get all the information he needs for his everyday life, like his bank statements, his theater reservations, all the information you need in the course of living in a complex modern society. This will be in a compact form in his own house. He'll have a television screen like these here and a keyboard, and he'll talk to the computer, get information from it, and he'll take it as much for granted as we take the telephone.
I wonder though, what sort of a life would it be like in social terms? I mean, if our whole life is built around the computer, do we become a computer-dependent society and computer-independent individuals?
In some ways, but they'll also enrich our society because it'll make it possible for us to live really anywhere we like. Any businessman and executive could live almost anywhere on Earth and still do his business through a device like this. And this is a wonderful thing. It means we wanted to be stuck in cities, we better live out in the country or wherever we please, and still carry on complete interaction with human beings as well as with other computers.
I brought along my son Jonathan, who in the year...
That was cool. Nothing to find. I'm from 77. Every once in a while, my wife and I will look for some clothes, and they'll usually have decent stuff on sale. Now, if you want 77 branded anything, you can go to I have a couple of items in my store because I was born in 77, so all my Gen X channel logo has 77 on it, just so you know. I have a sticker and I have a beanie. That's all I got so far. But I'm working on it. So, let's see. There was one back here that I wanted to... Oh. Skywalker Davis. Who remembers Pizza Hut dine-in restaurants? Absolutely, yes. I did a video when I first started this channel about Gen X jobs that no longer exist, and or teen jobs, and one of them was a Pizza Hut waitress. Because I did that when I was 18. Served up pizzas and had the big buffet and everything, and had the jukebox inside and the red cups and the old school. We even served beer on tap at the Pizza Hut that I worked at. Let's see here. I talked about Double Trouble in one of my videos.
We make a great team. We know the joy keeps jumping the troubles on the Let's go. We got some great dreams. And you can keep on shaking, there ain't no way.
I forgot to put Bridget was in there.
Life gets so much better whenever we're together. It just takes two of a kind and
There we go. Love that show. Yeah, it was Katie Seagal's twin sisters. They were also in Grease 2. Was that true? Yeah, it was 2. And they were in they were the Doublemint twins. Cutie. Let's see. Oh. Super chat $5. Badfish 419. First time I've caught a live stream. You reminded me of things I've forgotten. Love it. Quit smoking. I'm 602 days nicotine free. Born 1976. Yes, the smoking thing, the smoking cigarettes thing is one of the last I guess vices I would have. I smoke weed and I smoke cigarettes. And I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't, eat a bunch of junk anymore. But man, I tell you, the smoking. I actually worked for RJ Reynolds for a lot of years. Made my living that way. But I don't know. I know it's bad. But congratulations to you being almost 2 years free from the nicotine. That's good. I'm gonna try. Maybe I can make it a thing for my channel to try to quit smoking. I know it's very unattractive, right? I get it. We got a 4-month member anniversary from Jamie Behemoth. Thank you. Appreciate it. If you guys want to be a member on my channel, I have 2 levels. One's 99 cents or $1 a month. And that's called Jamming on the One. And you get emojis and you get a badge by your name when you comment. You get first response to comments, and you get to participate in polls and things like that. And then there's the $5 a month one called I Got 5 on it, and you'll get early access. I'll post videos for those members first when I post, so they get those videos first. They get all the emojis and badges and polls, and I'll give them some behind the scenes community posts and things like that. And I'll do some more things as we go along here, because I'm going back in. I'm getting out of the depression, and I'm going back into this channel, and I'm doing it regularly. So, and the $1 a month and the $5 a month level, both are pretty cool. It supports my channel, helps me do my thing, helps me make videos. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Other way you can support the channel is going to 80stees.com if you want to buy some cool 80s t-shirts like my Eagle Fang karate sweatshirt. Use the code GenXLife at checkout. You'll get 30% off. Oh, we got a new member. Jessica, yay! Thank you so much. Thanks for joining the club. I swear I need to get members only jackets. I mean, that would just be like beautiful, would it not? It would just make so much sense. All right. Got a lot of just posts about my so-called life when it was celebrating its 30th anniversary. I want to watch videos. I don't necessarily want to read posts. All right. Let's see. Let's go over to X and get to some of those. X. Share. All right. So a couple of the accounts that I follow on X are that I really like. One is Land of the 80s. So we'll go in and watch their videos here.
What you talking about, Willis?
What you doing, sucker?
How rude.
I know you are, but what am I? Nano.
Kiss my grits.
Hey, where's the teeth? Go, gadget legs.
Don't be ridiculous.
But I pity the fool.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
What you talking about, Willis?
What you doing, sucker?
I gotta stop it. All right. So we got a bunch of 80s catchphrases. How many do you remember? I remember all of them. and I still say them. Oh, we have some questions here. Did I get it wrong, or is one of the girls Katie Seagal, Peggy Bundy? No, that was her, Katie Seagal, who was Peggy Bundy. Those twins were her sisters, Jean and Liz. So, they were related, yes, but not one of them was not Peggy Bundy. Let's see. What else do we got? I mean, you're not wrong. All the cool kids were doing it. It's so weird. It was still a cool thing back when I was in high school. I know it's gross, but you know, bit of a rebel. I'm a rebel, daddy, a loner. You can still smoke at bars where you live. That's pretty cool. We have a couple of restaurants in my town where you can still smoke. Has a smoking section. I don't go to bars, so I'm not sure what the situation is at the bars anymore. But yeah. Let's see. You got my jamming on the One Cosby Show reference. Thank you. For those of you that don't know where those references, the jamming on the one and I got 5 on it come from, here I'll show you real fast. Hold on. I didn't have it ready, so it's the Stevie Wonder episode of Cosby. Let's get this off for a second. And they're in Stevie Wonder's studio jamming out with Steve. All right, I can't play too much of this because obviously I don't want to get copyright strike.
Beautiful. I got you in my synclavia. I need a little more help, Miss Vanessa.
Oh, we've got to go to Theo because it's Theo that says it.
Denise.
Oh,
how old are you?
17.
Theo, how old are you?
15.
17 and 15. Who's a singer?
Well, I want to be.
Can you rap?
Yeah.
What's happening? Go ahead and rap for me one time.
No.
And what would you say at a party?
Jamming on the one.
Jamming on the one. Jamming on the one. Jamming on.
It makes no sense. What is jamming on the one from? I would love to play the whole thing, but like I said, I can't I'll get copyrights claimed. And then I got 5 on it is an old 90s song for Lunas. I'm glad you brought this up because I've been working on this What is a Zennial video for like 3 or 4 months. And I'm trying to make it, something new and different, but really trying to explain what it is. But I think that if you're a Zennial, then you remember that you were the perfect age. You were like 12 years old, 10 to 12 years old when the song Parents Just Don't Understand came out by DJ Jazzy Jeff the Fresh Prince. And it like spoke to me as a Zennial. But yeah, they had The Nightmare on My Street was one of their follow-ups to Parents Just Don't Understand. Oh, nice. Appreciate that. I mean, there's a big difference between those of us born in the late 70s and those of us born in the late 60s. Big difference. All right. Let's get back to the Twitter. We'll watch some of my bookmark stuff and then I'll answer some of your questions and then we will call it a night. Let's see what I got here. We watched some of these last night. Oh, look at that photo. That's from the Trial of the Incredible Hulk, the movie, the TV movie. This was Stan Lee's first time he ever made a cameo in one of his movies. Bill Bixby on the right, Lou Ferrigno in the middle. And, who played Matt Murdock? Rex. What was his name? Rex what? Who played Matt Murdock? in Trial of the Incredible Hulk. What was it? Smith. God, like Smith is his last name, and I can't remember it. I kept thinking Rex Harrison. I was like, no, that's the old guy from like the 60s. Who is? I couldn't think of his name. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Okay. Let's watch that Siskel. Let's see what I don't know why I kept it, but let's find out and see.
You know, the superheroes that we grew up with, like Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and Spider-Man, were individuals who really stood for something and who really had ideas. And here you have kind of a collective group of these radioactive turtles who seem to applaud the lowest common denominator. They talk to each other in the way that teenage boys sometimes do when they're trying not to stand out from the crowd by having any ideas. You know, cowabunga, dude. It's like as long as we all talk in this way and act in unison, we don't have any ideas of our own. We're not individuals. We don't have to make decisions. It'll all be just fine. It's really depressing. I think there's something going on with these turtles that is telling us something alarming about our society. I agree. You know, the superheroes.
Interesting. That's an interesting point. I might have to use that for a future video. But yes, Gene Siskel died in 1999 from a brain tumor. Happened pretty fast. He was on the show almost to the end. Like he called in from the hospital and stuff to review movies. I know that his last movie of the year was from I think 98, and it was Babe 2 Pig in the City. Which is great. Babe and Babe 2 are fantastic films. But then Roger Ebert died in like 2011, 2012, also from cancer. All right. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this was fun. This is Leonardo DiCaprio discussing the end of Titanic with Brad Pitt.
The biggest movie controversy of all time. Could Jack have fit on that door at the end?
Oh my gosh, I thought it. I remember bawling my eyes out when I was
I have no
a girl.
comment. That's telling, I think.
That is the biggest controversy, I think,
Ever.
in modern cinema
Ever.
history.
Can you squeeze it?
Yeah.
No comment.
Did you mention it at the time? Were you like, should we make the door smaller? So
Like I said, I have no comment.
The biggest movie controversy of all time. Could Jack?
I mean, we all know, yes, he could have fit on that door. He refused to say anything. Oh my god. Let's see, what else do I got? Okay, this is from CBS Sunday Morning. The 1983 documentary Tom Petty Heartbreakers Beach Party was only shown once and never seen again. Over 4 decades later, fans are finally able to get a look at a film that was almost lost forever. Director Cameron Crowe and Petty's daughter Adria share what the release means to them. Let's watch this for a second and see what it's about. Love me some Tom Petty.
A documentary about one of the greatest bands of all time, made by a now Oscar-winning director, shown only a single time and then never seen again. That is exactly what was set to happen to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers Beach Party, a 1983 doc directed by Cameron Crowe, who also wrote and directed the cult classic film Almost Famous. The doc follows the band as they hit the road and wrap up their album Long After Dark. Now, more than 4 decades later, the footage has been found, and fans finally are able to take a look at what was almost lost forever. Joining us now, the film's director, Cameron Crowe, and Tom Petty's daughter, Adria Petty. Thank you, both of you, for being here with us. Cameron, I want to start with you. I was blown away by this documentary. I really, really liked it. I liked you in it, young footage of you. Apparently, it was shelved originally because it was too experimental, even for the station that aired it, and that's surprising to me. But now it feels very modern and current. So it's like time has caught up with you. Are you excited to release it?
It's so excited. It's fresh because Tom Petty is fresh, and it's irreverent because he was irreverent. He's just like that clip you just played. He's just a blast to be around and just completely down home and funny.
So funny. And you're funny in it too, Cameron. Adria, I want to turn to you. You were a little girl when they were filming this. Do you have any memories of this documentary being filmed? And how important is it to you that it's being re-released?
It is so important to me. It's an amazing piece in our archive. My dad had.
Can you imagine having somebody like Tom Petty as your dad? Like what life would have been like? I always think about the kid. I mean, I always, but I have in the past thought about kids that grew up with like iconic parents. You know? And I mean, like now they're all Nepo babies and with no talent. But back then, like, I don't know, like, it would have just been so crazy to have, you know, iconic, famous people as your parents, especially someone like Tom Petty. And like Cameron Crowe was directing movies in 1983. I didn't realize Cameron Crowe was that old because he made Almost Famous, right? He's been doing stuff since he was like 10 years old. Yeah, you can say that about any musician has kids. It's just, I mean, it would just be a really interesting, it'd just be a really weird life. Like, yeah. Let's hear what she has to say.
Had a lifelong relationship with Cameron and enormous esteem for his writing, and this pivotal moment where he became a director and then went on to do such incredible things that my dad was always so proud of. And you know, I remember shooting those little ducks that they're shooting in the den, and I remember Cameron being around. But this is an unprecedented find for us in terms of access and just the connection that my dad and Cameron have on camera. I think it was supposed to be an on-air interview kind of format, and it ended up being very, you know, he came into Dad's world for a long period of time.
Yeah, that's what's so great about it, Cameron. Tom Petty is really, really vibrantly alive in this, in part because it's shot, you know, in the back of a limo interview. You have a funny opening where you kind of stumble your way through a welcome to the documentary. I just think it's so charming.
He wanted me to step up and be, you know, a director and be on camera and, you know, like tell the jokes with him and be a part of it. He was like, let's let this be like a gift between friends and for nobody other than ourselves. And if we follow our instincts and do something that makes us laugh and we crack up watching it, there's going to be other people like us that appreciate it. And years later, I watch it and I just remember what he said, which is like, be true to what you love. And that's what Heartbreakers Beach Party is for fans and for other people too. It's just so fun.
I love this one line where Tom says, you know, once the ghost gets in you, you can't release it.
I love that too,
right?
yeah.
We're being like the love of music. He's like, I couldn't imagine doing anything else. I'm happy it worked out that I could support myself in this, but
Vinegar Syndrome needed to be transferred and preserved. And at that point, we started talking to Cameron and really looked at it again. And we're like, wow, this is such a special portrait of not just my dad. I want to mention also the Heartbreakers, who are just world-class musicians and brothers, basically in arms of my dad's from a very young age. And it's a real portrait of that camaraderie and magic that band had, you know?
Wow. That's pretty cool. So a Paramount Plus that's going to be on. It aired once and then was almost lost. Crazy. I love this comment. From Nothing to Find. Gen X celebs live in the shadows of boomer celebs. There's a hierarchy. You're right. Like, and I showed this a lot in my What is Generation X video. Like, boomer culture has been like around our whole life. Like, we have been living in boomer culture our whole life. All the comedians that we love, all the music that we listen to. It's like, and we've been living in that. We even, like in the 80s, there was that like 60s retro, everything from the 60s was cool. Everything from Woodstock was cool. Like we've been living in boomer world for so long, and it's but then these last 10 years we've gotten all this entertainment from all of these kids that went to Ivy League film schools or they're nepo babies. Where I guess the Gen X pop culture was like popped up in the 90s for a second. And then what happened? I did touch on this a bit in my video for Gen X TV shows from the last 25 years, because there have been some Gen X TV. Like there's been some creators and actors that have done a lot of 80s and 90s influenced stuff and Gen X pop culture. But yeah, like we've been living in a boomer world our whole lives. Lord help us. I'm almost 50 years old, guys. Will the boomers ever just retire and go away? Oh man. All right. What else do we got? Let's look and see. Two truths about the 80s. Malls were awesome. The record store was their heartbeat. Well, that is the truth. Here's another video that I'm working on about what it was like being young in the 90s. We had 24-hour Walmarts, $1 McChickens, $5 footlongs, $20 full tanks, 99-cent stores. We had it all. What happened? Yeah. Let's see here. Gen X grandparents. Let's see what we got. That moment you realize your kids are spending way too much time with their Gen X grandparents. All right, let's see.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Fire, boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, bigness great. Can get your head all over your place, singing way up, rock you.
Good job, man.
He was into it. He loved him some Freddie. All right. Here's a clip from In Living Color from 1992. Oh no.
Thank God you heard my call.
I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Handyman is here.
Handyman.
Good. I gotta go bad. This guy's been in this store for over an hour and a half. He's not even disabled. Say no more. Wheel back.
Oh no.
Something tells me this ain't going to be pretty. Someone out of this store before this trouble. I ain't leaving. Uh-oh, looks like someone's about to join the ranks of the disabled. Let's get busy.
It would be so controversial today. That's why somebody posted it.
You saved the day. The physically challenged have been needing a hero, and you're it. Thank you, handyman. That's okay, son. And remember, never underestimate the powers of the handicap.
Yes, that is Damon Wayans. Him and his brothers did In Living Color. Keenan Ivory Wayans was, I believe, the executive producer, and then Damon, and then Sean and Marlon. They had sisters too. Yes, Fire Marshal Bill. That was Jim Carrey. Hilarious. I think Tommy Davidson was on there. Was he part of the gay movie reviewers that did the 2 snaps in a circle? Thank you, Carrie. Glad you came in to hang out with me. Have a good night. All right, let's see what else we got. I don't want to get political at all, but this Trump chicken restaurant commercial was hilarious on Saturday Night Live. But we're not going into politics. I don't do politics on this channel, but it was funny. Oh, let's see what else we got. Oh, did you guys see this? Dawn Robinson from En Vogue posted the other day that she's been living in her car for the last couple of years. She was the one that like left En Vogue in the 90s, and from what I understand, she's been a little bit of a troublemaker. But yeah, she's like living in her car. Let's hear what she has to say.
And you guys, for the past almost 3 years, I have been living in my car. I said it. Oh my God, it's out. I've been living in my car. Oh my gosh. If you remember, if you guys were with me, in 2020, I did like 105,000 interviews. And in the interim, I was living with my parents in Vegas. And that was wonderful until it wasn't. I love my mom, but she became very angry. And a lot of her anger, she was taking out on me, and I was her target all the time. And I was like, I can't deal with this. Like, I respect her too much. Let me get out of here.
But Dawn is not.
And I was sleeping in my car for maybe about a month in Vegas. And then the guy that was co-managing me at the time was living in LA. And he said, you need to come back to LA. Okay. And he said that I could stay with him. And so I was like, okay. He's like, I don't have a lot of room, but I'll make room for you. And then when I got to his place, he actually didn't have room for me. So it turned into, okay, well, I'm going to put you in a hotel for the night. And that one night turned into 8 months. Oh my God, you guys, because
what?
Every apartment that I looked at, every single time I looked at a place, I would call him and I'm like, okay, can you meet me here? I would tell him ahead of time, of course. And then he wouldn't meet me there until I would take video and send it to him. And he's like, no, oh my God, this neighborhood, I hate it. And I felt like he was playing games, and I knew he was playing games, and I wasn't the one. I'm like, come on, I'm trying to make this easier on you because financially, I know it's got to be hard. You're paying your rent and you're paying my hotel. His apartment was $1,700 a month. And then my hotel was over $3,000. Yep. So, and I was always stressed every week because he would pay weekly for the hotel. So every week I was like, oh my God, can you afford it? Are you okay? And he's like, no, I can't, but I'm getting it together. What? You're the one who said to go to the hotel and you're not approving any of the apartments. Like, it would be so much cheaper to just get me into an apartment. Like, what's the problem?
Wow. Now, I've seen a lot of people comment underneath these videos, like I said, that she's been a big troublemaker and that she's had some mental health issues and things like that. But and En Vogue like just got back together, and I think they're doing the show. They're doing some touring, but not with Dawn. She won't go back. She refuses. I don't know. There's a lot more to it than that. So, yeah, go find her. Go find her TikTok account. I don't even know what to say about it. It's just weird that, you know, I have her CD in my car, the original Funky Divas CD from En Vogue. Absolutely. That's exactly right. I hope she gets the help she needs. Let's see what else we got. Ooh, have you guys ever heard of the Bechdel test? I want to make a video about this too. It was a Gen X comedian, a female, that came up with the Bechdel test, where the film must feature two named female characters that talk with each other about anything other than a man. But like the story behind it is ridiculously dumb and insane, and it's ridiculous that it's even a thing. But yeah, apparently Jessica Chastain really loves the Bechdel test. Let's hear what she has to say.
It's really important, that test.
This test, does the film have two named female characters who have at least two scenes together where they talk about something other than men? And
Most movies fail that
most
test.
movies fail. Is that a
Ugh.
big consideration in what you do going forward?
Listen, I can't only say I'm going to do movies that pass that test because the scripts aren't out there, sadly. But I will say that
Seriously, every stinking movie and television show from the last decade has been about strong women, strong female characters. The scripts just aren't out there. I'm so sick of this identity crap. Can we just get back to like good stories for the love of all that is holy? Can we just get back to good stories? I don't care if you're a man or a woman, what color you are. I just want a good story. Am I wrong? Am I the only one that feels this way? Oh God. Oh, the new Zoo review. Let's see. 53 years ago today, it made its debut, and that was March 12th. Oh, I haven't heard that in a long time. Oh, you remember the Pepsi challenge? Did anybody ever take the Pepsi challenge? Oh, I was blown away by this. I was like, I've got to share this with my people. All right, so this is the backstory of Red Hot Chili Peppers Under the Bridge, and I got to be honest, I'm probably going to get mean comments for this, but I'm not a big fan of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I'm not a fan of this song. But the story behind this is insane. So let's do it. Let's listen.
When it came to the ending, the Peppers were clueless. With nowhere else to turn, John called his mom.
John's mom came in with, I think, people from her church group and sang back the background vocals, "Under the Bridge Downtown."
His mother.
And that was trippy. Like seeing all these women out there on, I'm like, "Under the Bridge Downtown." Like it just seemed so crazy, and it worked out so great.
It was like the angels were closing the record. And isn't it great to have the angels close a record that was spawned by the devil?
This isn't the problem. It's just on rhythms. You should just lock up more and emphasize the right one. So let's just sing it once. Or listen to me sing it once. 3, 4. Under the bridge downtown is where I drew some blood. Under the bridge downtown, I could not get enough. Under the bridge downtown, forgot about my love. Under the bridge downtown, I gave my life away. Under the bridge downtown
is where I drew some blood. Under the bridge downtown, I could not get enough. Under the bridge downtown,
forgot about my love.
Under the bridge downtown,
I gave my life away. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
His mom and her church choir. Like, what? I just had no idea. Like, what a cool piece of trivia. And, oh, I see the Pepsi and Coke debate. And for my opinion, I drink Coke from a can and Pepsi from a fountain. I'm a Coke and Pepsi connoisseur. I'm a soda connoisseur. But yeah, Coke from a can, Pepsi from a fountain. And if I'm going to be from a fountain, then it has to be a styrofoam cup and it needs crushed ice. But yeah, the Pepsi challenge. I can tell a Coke and a Pepsi apart. No problem. Never forget when Michael Jordan's mom's stunt double looked nothing like her. This will be fun.
Like this, Michael. And now give it some razzle-dazzle.
That's my mom.
Hold on. Okay, let's see her stunt double. So there's mom, MJ's mom. Now let's cut to Okay, hold on. Here we go. There's her stunt double. Let's go back to mom. There's mom. And there's stunt double. Let's watch that one more time.
Like this, Michael. And now give it some razzle-dazzle.
That's my mom.
Yes. Again, that's going to my McDonald's video. The nothing but net commercials. Fountain soda is like kid draft beer. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh God. Okay. Oh yes. So Brian has one of the largest PSA libraries he knows of. So this is a PSA from the 90s or 1990. I think y'all know what's about to happen, but let's watch.
This is crack, rock cocaine.
Oh.
It isn't glamorous or cool or kid stuff. It's the most addictive kind of cocaine, and it can kill you. What's really bad is nobody knows how much it takes. So every time you use it, you risk dying.
Uh-oh.
It isn't worth it. Look, everybody wants to be cool, but doing it with crack isn't just wrong. It could be dead wrong.
Don't even try it. Oh. Thing is though, like they need to make these commercials for fentanyl now, right? I mean, the brain on drugs commercial was cheesy, but we still all remember it 40 years later. So obviously it had some kind of an effect on us. That's right. After he got in trouble, he had to do these things as part of his plea deal in his community service. Good call. Bad Fish 419 bringing the details. The trivia. I love it. It is, a little random. The crack is whack. Just as the late, great Whitney Houston told us. The Yul Brynner commercial about smoking and cancer. I don't remember that one. I need to do a video about PSAs. Because there were so many. So many. All right. Let's see. A terrific sketch from Letterman as Paul Schaefer looks for him on some of the most iconic sitcom sets of the 90s. All right. So Paul Schaefer is trying to find David Letterman.
Going pretty good.
Oh, Grace Under Fire. Remember that show?
Hi. Have you seen Dave? Not since I broke into his house. Why don't you just let it go, Paul? Why don't you just let it go? Yeah, thanks, Brett.
Let's say, it's not about us, right? And then you walk in.
Gary, I've been looking all over. Have you seen Dave?
Gary Shandling Show.
Hey, have you guys ever thought about rehearsing, by the way? I think it could help.
Sybil, we're right in the middle of a show.
I forgot
Can't find
Sybil
Dave.
had a
Did you see him?
sitcom.
Did you try the hotel bar? I gotta go. Bye.
Dave who?
That's not my finger.
Well, that's okay. That's not my belly button.
Roseanne, hi. Have you seen Dave?
Isn't he on CBS? We don't get cable.
Ah. TV's Paul Schiffer.
Hey, what's your favorite kind of sandwich?
Hot dog.
Hot dog? Hot dog's not a sandwich.
What are you talking about? You got your meat, you got your bread, you got your condiments. You bite into a hot dog, my friend. You're biting into a sandwich.
That looks weird.
What are you guys talking about? Sandwiches? Oh, man, don't get me started on sandwiches. Listen to this. First of all, is there sand in a sandwich? Is it made by a witch? Sandwich? What is the deal?
Dave, there, I've been looking all over for you.
Hey, Kramer.
No, Dave, it's me, Paul. Listen, our show's not over yet. We got to go back.
We're talking about sandwiches.
Oh, well, don't get me started on sandwiches. Our show, we got our own show. Let's get out of here. Come on.
He's right. I got to go. I've made a terrible mistake.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye, Larry.
Thanks. You too.
Always.
What's the opposite of must-see TV?
That was random. Not all these are going to be good hits, you know. We're going to hit. We got some hit and misses. Oh, I saw this earlier today, people, and I need to ask you about. Have you all seen this trend of AI, like either making stars look like that, how they did when they were young, and then like now, or how they'll look in the future? Anyways, how do you feel about this kind of stuff? So this is from the Top Gun, what they all looked like in the movie and what they look like now. Let me know what you think of this.
Here's how the actors of Top Gun look today.
I don't know how I feel about these AI videos that do this crap. I'm conflicted. Bye, Ben. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. I see. I'm kind of with you. Destroying the movie. I think you're right. Like, I want to like some of these things, but like it's just bizarre. I need to turn this music off, or else I'm gonna get too late now. But yeah, I feel like it's just bizarre looking. All right, look at a couple more, and then I'll let y'all go. Let's see. This has been kind of fun. I missed the days when concert tickets didn't cost a mortgage payment. Amen to that. Oh, this is when Sammy Hagar joined Van Halen, the Van Hagar era launch. Let's see what we got here. So are you all Van Hagar or Van Roth? Friday night video clips. I could be able to do that. We'll do that. How about this Friday night? I like this idea. How about this Friday night? I'll do another live stream and we'll watch Friday night videos. How does that sound? Van Hagar. See, I like Van Hagar too. Van Roth has some good stuff, but Van Hagar is. I got to see Van Hagar in 2003, I think, 2004. And Wolfie was playing with him at the time. So I did get to see him. Let's watch this. I wanted to stop that for a second because I don't want to get copyright struck on Dreams. Here we go. I don't want to get, again, copyright struck. But I love seeing this stuff. Yep, the Hagar years were less trashy glam. Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. But at least you get to watch all the cool stuff. At least it was documented. But yeah. You did. You missed the good stuff of the 70s and the 80s. Got a little bit of the 90s there, but almost too little to appreciate it. But yes, you can hang out here and enjoy all of the 70s and 80s stuff with us. All right, let's go back to this. Desperado, good stuff. Too mainstream with Hagar. I can see that. I can understand that. It's still good though. Saw Hagar last summer, best concert of your life. Nice. Do you guys go to concerts anymore? Because like we just rolled past that one about how it's like a mortgage payment to go to a show. Ticketmaster has ruined the concert industry. And I have thought about doing a video about it. Ooh. Chow Young Cat gifted a membership. Thank you. I'll let y'all go. You're trying to get off the phone. Badfish 419. Thank you so much for the $2. I appreciate it. All right, let's watch the rest of this. There. Remember when he was married to Valerie Bertinelli? I think they stayed friends their whole lives, even after they got divorced. Oh, this is a good one. I can't wait to show you guys this one. Let's see here. Now, for those of you that watched the Power Rangers in the 90s, check this out. This is I found this. I had no idea.
This is where things blow my mind. They basically just took footage from a show called Super Sentai, and then they just said, well, we want to make it American. Everything where they are Power Rangers was already filmed, and it's already from another show.
Wow. What?
And the only things that they filmed were the scenes where they were teenagers without their stuff on.
Seriously.
The Yellow Ranger in Super Sentai was a male,
Okay.
which is why the Pink Ranger has a skirt, but the Yellow Ranger doesn't, is because the Yellow Ranger was a male in the original Super Sentai series. But then in America, they're like, well, let's do a girl. But they still had to use the stock footage that came to them. In fact, to the point where the action scenes that were from Super Sentai series, they're English voice dubbed over it. So like Rita Repulso was not speaking English. Someone was just dubbing a voiceover. And you know how they would get in their machine, they'd be like, we're going to do cool stuff. And they'd have their arms going all crazy.
Super hand motion.
It was just all overdubs from the scenes.
What? None of those scenes were legit real. They were all just Sentai footage. I know. I'm smoking a cigarette. It was nice those days when everybody had a pack and a lighter. I know. It's my last vice. But, you know, it just it happens. All right. All right. We'll end with this amazing video from Brian Romilly. I think that's how you say his name. He has a really great account on X. If you were seeing a feature film in 1985, you saw this teaser trailer for a new movie few could have thought would have had such an impact. Back to the Future. Few have seen this since, but now you are. So here was the teaser trailer that played before Back to the Future came out if you went to see a movie in 1985. See if y'all remember this. How cool is that? I remember seeing it. It's been a long time. Oh, do we want to check out of this live stream with the Levi's Gremlin or the AMC Gremlin Levi edition from 1973 where they had denim seats? This will be a fun one to end the stream on.
Come on over here for a second.
What's up?
Look in there.
Pants.
Oh, wow, a car with pants.
Introducing the Levi's Gremlin with seats of the pants.
Look at this. Orange stitching and buttons.
It's even got the Levi's tab on the front seat.
The rest is pure Gremlin. Styling, economy, 6-cylinder engine, and it's backed by the buyer protection plan. Levi's Gremlin, the car that wears the pants. at your AMC dealer.
The car isn't bad either.
Denim seats. Yes. A car with pants. Oh, we got a fun fact. Back to the Future's original title was Spaceman from Pluto. I remember that. Yes. I think the head of the movie studio wanted to keep it that way, and they had to like talk him out of it. The story behind Back to the Future is wild. There's so much there. Like you could probably make a whole channel on Back to the Future trivia and facts, but I could probably make a video or two about it. I mean, it's one of the greatest trilogies of all time. It still holds up today. Thank you for the $1.99, Brian. I appreciate it. You're the best. Oh, all right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you to all of you with the super chats. That was super awesome. All the memberships. Oh, we got a member. I wish people would stop calling 80s hard rock glam. It was never called that back then. Glam was 1970s rock like T-Rex and Gary Glitter. Yeah. That makes sense. All right. Anything else exciting that anybody wants to share? But how about Friday night we come back and we'll do a live stream Friday night and we'll watch some Friday night videos. How's that sound? How does that sound? Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Whoops. Oops. It goes so fast I can't keep up. I haven't been for the last couple of months, but I'm going back to it now because I was in a bit of a funk, had a little bit of a depression spell. But you know, I didn't want to go on here without my teeth in. I did it a couple of times and it was very difficult. I felt like really silly. When you don't have your teeth in and you don't shower for a few days, you know, you don't want to be on camera. But I'm getting out of my funk. I'm pulling myself out of it. And we're going to do some more live streams. Thank you guys so much. Oh, I love you guys too. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's been an absolute blast. Thank you for supporting my channel. And I'm going to come up with a fun video for this week. I meant to discuss that with y'all, but I got into other things. But if you want to be a member, join the membership and we can talk about what the next couple of videos that I'm going to make. We'll figure it out together. All right, guys. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful comments and for all of your support. I really appreciate it. You're the best. Okay, bye.